All right, getting right to it, man. So, if you don't remember in the last video, basically ending it off with Captain Buggy and Luffy getting into a little scrap, but we find out that Captain Buggy actually knows Shanks, who, is the red-haired guy that had the hat that he passed on to Luffy, aka Luffy's dad. And then we're getting into episode 8 when we're going over all this stuff, and we're pretty much seeing why or how they knew one another. We started with Buggy's little back memory with them arguing, Shanks and Buggy, about Antarctica, which one's colder. And at first it looks like they're actually seriously arguing, like they're actually rivals, like Buggy's making it seem, but they actually end up being friends. They're part of the same pirate crew, like Luffy confirmed through Buggy, hitting licks and raids together and everything, doing things that pirates do, and they cool with one another. Now it ends up getting to the point where we start seeing what kind of took place, and basically one time after they hit this lick on one of the ships, Buggy ended up finding a treasure map, and this treasure map was just a regular old treasure map. It wasn't a Grand Line treasure map, it was like a basic treasure map, and he was hiding it from everybody, not letting nobody know that he had it. So he was about to go get this treasure by himself, and he was trying to scheme and plot in order to get to that point. Now before this, him and Shanks both mentioned that they kind of wanted to have their own pirate crew eventually one day, so I don't really think it was going to be surprising that he ended up just up and leaving one day. So anyway, Shanks ends up seeing him one day, hunching over and kind of talking to himself, and he's like just peeping up on him like, yo, what you doing, man? And he gets all startled and he shoves the map down his vest. Shanks starts talking about what they found when they hit the lick. Of course, Buggy's not telling him about the pirate map because he's trying to keep it to himself, but Shanks is like, yo, what's crazy is we found a devil fruit the other day, and it's supposed to have like mystical powers that when you eat it, you gain the powers of some type of demon, but it takes away your ability to swim. They still think it's kind of like folklore and not really too serious, so they're kind of just talking about it casual. After hearing that, Buggy was like, that's kind of stupid. Who the hell would want to eat a damn devil fruit knowing that they wouldn't be able to swim, especially when you're a pirate, because you're gonna be on the sea all the time, Shanks of course agrees, and then he's like, well, they are supposed to be very rare, so you can sell them for a lot of money, like 100-something million berries. And this is where I find out the orange-haired girl wants a lot of berries, because I think berries is just the name of their currency or something like that. Because if they're talking about they want berries too, or selling it for berries, I'm like, okay, this must be some type of currency called berries. So I guess I understand why she wants 100 million berries. But anyway, after Buggy hears that you can sell it for 100 million berries, he's like, bro, duh, I'm obviously gonna go ahead and sell this damn fruit. So he devises a plan to go ahead and steal the damn devil fruit by getting in front of the pirate crew gang, acting like he's about to eat the fruit. But the fruit that he's about to eat is a fake devil fruit. So he's like, I'm Buggy and I'm about to eat this pirate fruit, and then he shoves it down his throat and eats. Pause. Of course, they're all looking at him like, damn, kids, they never think about the consequences. And they all laugh it off because they're pirates and they don't really take life too seriously. It's like, obviously, Buggy gets the green light from this and he's like, well, they bought it, so I'm gonna go ahead and go from here until the actual devil fruit and get on a stowaway boat and then dip off my treasure map and then go get some treasure and money. So Buggy is once again hunched over in the damn boat he's about to steal and stow away off of. And he's looking at the devil fruit all precious and everything like, oh yeah, I'm about to get rich and all this kind of stuff. And then who pops up? Shanks. So Shanks is like, hey, Buggy, what you doing? And then Buggy shoves the devil fruit in his mouth and he's like, nothing, and he's not really trying to talk because obviously devil fruit in his mouth. And Shanks is like, oh, okay, well, it is what it is. And he walks off. Shanks then comes back really quick and he's like, oh yeah, I forgot something. And he startles Buggy, which makes him swallow the devil fruit. And of course, like Buggy said, who the hell would want to eat a devil fruit knowing you're a pirate and knowing you won't be able to swim after that? And aside from that, Buggy's pirate map also got took by the wind and then it fell in the water. And Shanks is like, oh snap, what's that thing floating in the water? And then Buggy's like, oh shit, that's my pirate map. So he jumps in after it. And of course, he starts to drown like Luffy because they both ate devil fruits. So Buggy's drowning at this point. He's already drinking a whole bunch of water. Shanks is like, how come he's not swimming? And of course, Shanks jumps in after him and he saves him. And, this somehow makes them rivals to Buggy because he made him eat a devil fruit. Not even made him, accidentally made him eat a devil fruit. And then he also lost his treasure map. And Buggy calls this stealing a whole bunch of riches from him. But at the same time, Shanks ain't know none of it. So he can't really be the person that did that. You feel me? So it's kind of like a stupid one-sided rival here. After which Luffy, of course, ends up beating Buggy, and then they saved the town. That's as plain as day as what happened in this episode. It was really drawn out for no reason. But so far, these episodes have been very short with a lot of information, but you can sum it up almost in a sentence. So you're not really missing much. Nothing profound happened here. But we gonna continue, okay? We're gonna continue. I said I'm gonna finish the thing, and we're gonna finish the thing. I think eventually it gets better, but right now, it's very slow. They still trying to put the crew together. I mean, a couple more things noted from the episode before we continue on to the next one. The orange-haired girl obviously doesn't want to be a pirate, but she ended up joining their crew because they seem like they're kind of cool. So they do have a navigator now. And then, of course, we got Zoro and we still got Luffy. So they got 3 people. They also took Captain Buggy's boat. They stole one of those from him. And then they also jumped on their old boat. And then they sailed off to another island. That's where they're going now. And this next island has Usopp on it. And Usopp is Usopp's son. And Usopp is Luffy's old friend Shanks' crew member. And Buddy's a marksman, so he know how to shoot really good. But we open this episode with Usopp running down the street, yelling there's pirates are coming, pirates are on the shore, you know, scaring all the villagers, or at least trying to scare all the villagers and trying to entertain them in some way, which is kind of stupid and devious. And he's pretty much being a boy who cried wolf. The townspeople are obviously mad used to this because nobody's coming out their house panicking. They're all like, this damn kid, he's doing this again, he's being annoying, nuisance, and they low-key kind of like looking for him to beat him up, but they don't really find him, and he ends up running away talking about, wow, another successful mission. I made the townspeople enjoyable. And he's trying to be like a bearer of emotions in a sense, or like responsible for the way the villagers and people feel. Somewhat of an empath type of dude, but he's doing it wrong. Now fast forward to this roundhead jit, he's running down the street too, talking about there's pirates, but there actually happens to be pirates coming on the shore, and it's Luffy, Zoro, and the girl Nami. The girl's name is Nami. Anyway, right after this, Usopp kind of shows his true colors about him being low-key a coward, because when the jit tells him that there's actually real pirates coming to shore, he starts low-key panicking. He's like, oh no, we can't do this, we gotta get out of here, and he starts trying to like really dip. But then the kid says, well, there's only 3 of them and they don't seem like they're all that bad or something like that, and Usopp's like, oh snap, this is a great time to show everybody that I'm a real pirate cap, I'm actually hard. So he goes to the jungle entrance of the beach where the shore is, and then he sets up a whole bunch of pirate flags, making it seem like he has a really big pirate crew, but the dude really only got 3 jits around him. He ends up meeting Luffy because Luffy ends up talking to him and saying, hey, I know you, your dad's name is Usopp and your name is Usopp. And Luffy ends up knowing him because Usopp, which is Usopp's pops, would always talk about him, saying how much he misses him, how much he never really wanted to leave him, but he had to because he wanted to sail on the open seas. And the guy was actually a pretty cool guy. He was actually a sharpshooter and all that kind of stuff. But he ended up leaving Usopp because he really wanted to become a pirate. After this, Usopp ends up taking him over to a diner that he's pretty familiar with, and then they're all sitting down eating a little meal. This is where we find out that they all came to this island actually to find a better boat or a salesman or something like that. Nami asks Usopp, do you know anybody that can help us? Do you know anybody with some money that can give us a boat? And Usopp's like, nah, there ain't nobody on this island that can help you. And then Zoro's like, what about that big ass mansion on the hill over there? And then Usopp gets defensive saying, don't ever go over there, that's not your place. Basically trying to make sure that they don't go to that mansion, because that mansion holds his old lady. He be sneaking around talking to Kaya. Kaya is a little rich girl whose parents died recently, and we end up finding out later why they died. But Usopp goes over there from time to time talking to her, trying to cheer her up, lying like a snake. Dude just talking about all kinds of lies, how he's a fisherman, going on these big trips, you know, sailing the seas and all stuff since a little kid, just trying to make her happy, but he's just lying his ass off. And Kaya's eating this up. She's loving every little bit of it because she ain't got nothing else to do other than sitting in her big mansion, because her butler Kahador doesn't want her getting hurt by anybody and wanted to make sure that she's staying safe. So he kind of like is a mad toxic dude. Now, of course, Luffy and the gang end up going to that mansion, and they end up seeking out somebody that can probably help them to find a ship. And they're also, I guess, looking for Usopp in a way. Usopp's little gang end up telling Luffy that he always talks to this girl over here, and Luffy does his gum thing and flings over there. But before he does that, everybody grabs onto him trying to stop him because he shouldn't just be going on private property, but they all fall out the sky and end up landing exactly where Usopp. After which you got Klahadore bugging, and he's like, y'all need to leave this property, you know, so-and-so, saying all this cruel stuff to Usopp, talking about how he's a dirty, filthy pirate, you're just like your dad, you know, all this kind of mean stuff. Now, Usopp's somewhat of a coward, but he ain't that much of a coward, because when dude started talking about his dad, he got upset and punched the dude's face. And this is where Klahadore is like, see, all pirates are the same. You guys just want to act on violence once you can't get your way. Trying to show Kaya that she shouldn't be talking to people like him because he's scum. Now, of course, Kaya's a little outraged. She's like, why are you being so mean, Klahadore? You gotta be nicer. You know, she's upset because Usopp low-key is one of her only friends that she ever had. Usopp ends up storming off saying he's never going to be seen there again, and he runs away to his quiet area so he can go think. We then cut scene to Nami and Zoro and 2 of Usopp's pirate jets sitting down next to a fence just chilling, and Luffy's missing because he probably went after Usopp. Next thing you know, you got the roundhead onion jit coming back running, saying there's this weird guy who only walks backwards and he's coming this way. They think that he's BSing, but there actually is a weird guy who only walks backward coming this way trying to be like Michael Jackson, and he's supposed to be some legendary hypnotist. They try to call his bluff, say if you're really a hypnotist, prove it, and then he starts trying to hypnotize him, but he ends up falling asleep because he hypnotized himself. We then cut to Luffy checking up on Usopp saying, yo, what's up, how you doing? And then he's just there to give him some company while he's upset. Next thing you know, we see Clawhador the butler and that weird hypnotist guy talking all the way at the edge of the cliff, all the way at the bottom. They start talking about a plan called unaliving the rich girl or something like that. Basically trying to take out Kaya because she got money. And we find out Clawhador ain't really Clawhador and his real name is Cloud. He's a pirate captain. And bro got a big ass army basically. He's talking about how he's gonna devise this plan to make it look like he took the girl out by accident, trying to make it seem like it's all simple. But the hypnotist guy is supposed to hypnotize Kaya right before they actually take her out and make her sign a will saying that all the money goes to Klaus, aka Clawhador the butler. Usopp's overhearing all of this and he's like, yo, this can't happen. I gotta go warn people. And he's low-key trying to scurry away. Of course, Luffy being Luffy, he gonna stand up and be like, hey, what are you guys talking about? That's not good. You know, trying to point out the fact that he heard their whole plan and basically he ain't really scared to die. Usopp's trying to get him to sit down and shut up, but he don't care. Next thing you know, the hypnotist dude ends up hypnotizing Luffy and himself once again. And Luffy falls all the way to the bottom of the cliff, practically unaliving himself, but not really because we all know Luffy rubber and he don't die. Now, Usopp's thinking that Luffy's gone. Klaus and the hypnotist also think that Luffy's gone. And funny enough, they're not worried about Usopp because like I said, Usopp is the boy who always cries wolf. They already know no one's gonna believe Usopp. And this is where it says to be continued. And honestly, I couldn't go to the next episode. I really wanted to, but I'm actually a little tired today, man. So I don't really got the energy to do it. But I am going to see y'all in the next video recapping some other anime. I'm not going to do One Piece back to back to back. I'm going to start probably doing it only on Wednesdays or only on Fridays because I normally post on Wednesdays and Fridays. So I'm going to choose one of those days to do a One Piece recap and another day to do some other anime that I'm looking at. Anyway, man, this has been Marv once again. Like, comment, subscribe. Please talk to me in the comments because I love talking to y'all back. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.